So when we look at a cylinder, we've got many different factors going. We've got light and shadow. We've got, as we're looking at this form, or geometric solid as they're often called in math, we see different shadows on it. And if I adjust the lighting, you can see how the shadow changes and moves below. So watch that shadow as I move my light. So to start our drawing, we're going to work just like we did on the previous drawing. So when we're drawing our cylinder, we are going to start with 2 dots. And they are going to be parallel to one another. And I'm drawing mine darker, remember, because it is more difficult to see pencil on paper. And then with those 2 dots, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create that curved top. Now remember, when we look straight on to a cylinder from the top, it looks like a circle, but when we turn it, it starts to turn into an ellipse shape. Now we know that in our brain, we know that this is a circle, the surface of it, but because we're looking at it from a different angle, from a different perspective, when it transforms into an ellipse or an oval, more commonly called. So remember, we're drawing what we see, not what we think we see. So we're going to start, and you're going to be lightly shading, but we're going to start with that curved line. So we're going to connect those dots with a curved line, and we're going to sketch it first until we get it like we want it. Draw a light till you got it right. And then when you got it about how you want it, then you can darken your drawing a little bit. And what you don't want is you don't want pointy ends. So you want to make sure that you have a nice curved ellipse, okay? All right, now just like before, we're going to draw those vertical straight lines, and we're going to make sure that they're parallel and that they're even. So as best we can, we're going to make sure that they're parallel to the edge of our paper. This drawing is about the size of my fist. So I'm going to put those 2 lines, and I'm going to make sure as much as I can, because I'm looking at my drawing through my iPad screen, I'm making sure that they're as even as possible. Okay, and I draw lightly so that I can go back and erase more easily later on. Okay, and then we're going to create that curve shape at the bottom, because if we do a straight line here, it's going to end up looking like a French fry bag, and we don't want that. We want it to be a cylinder. So we're drawing as if we're looking at it like this. Okay, so this line is going to be mimicked or imitated down here. So we're going to have these 2 points here and then curve this line down here. Okay, so we've got that repetition. And so if we were to see this in a math textbook, it might be represented like this. And again, we don't have that value or shading to know which end is up. So that is how you create realism, is by using your shading to create value. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to think about that light source. Since we started on the other side last time, this time we're going to have that light source coming this direction. And I'll put my sun or my lamp, and then we'll give it a smiley face just for fun. Okay? And so if the light is coming from this direction, then the shading is going to be on the opposite side and going to move and get lighter as it moves towards that light source. So I'm going to start again using that side edge of my pencil, and I'm going to shade, and I'm going to start darkest because that's easiest for me on that edge. then as I move the opposite direction, I'm going to apply less pressure. And again, notice how I'm holding the back of my pencil, not choking up on it like this, okay? Loosen that control. Use that wrist rather than those joints in your fingers. It's going to help you more accurately draw. Okay, and I might go back and even some parts out. Filling in spots that I missed. And then once I've got it like I want it, then I'm going to use that tissue or paper towel, or if you have a tortillon or blending stump, you can use that. And again, we can apply that trick that we did with the cube. We can just use that leftover graphite residue on there and shade in the top. And I kind of follow the curve of the object since there's light hitting it right here. And if I need to, I'm going to add more, because you can always easily make something darker, but it's harder to remove and erase. Might add a little bit more shading in here. And then there I've got my cylinder. Now, again, we need that cast shadow, okay? Okay, and so if the light is coming this direction, then the shadow is going to come this way. So I'm going to, again, not draw that shadow and fill it in. I'm just going to mimic or elongate that shape. So if I look at my object, and if the light is hitting it, you can see that the cast shadow of this object is right here. Okay, and if I move it, it looks a little bit different, and it's never really a perfect form of that shape. So then it gets darker, it gets closer to my three-dimensional form, my cylinder. And also a little bit of shadow along the bottom where it's hitting the imagined surface of the table. And then blend it in. Okay, and that's it.